Welcome back, boys and gals, to the Musings of Mavri channel. This is your host, Mavri, with episode 2 of Jibaku Shounen Hanako-kun. So, I quite enjoyed the last episode. The characters were interesting, their voice acting was great, the setting of it was also quite intriguing for me as well, but I think most importantly, I did like a comedy. The timing of the comedy, execution of it, that was great, right? With that being said, last episode was really more of an introduction of the different characters, right? Particularly the main two characters, Hanako and Yashiro. In this episode, however, we're actually going to see, well, I presume we're going to see what exactly this story is all about and what we can expect going forward. Are we actually going to be solving, I don't know, encountering different spirits or so on and so forth? I don't know, right? But basically that's what this episode is for. But you guys have said that I'm probably going to enjoy it. It has a very compelling and perhaps deep story. Let's see if that is the case. Alrighty, so normally I would, well, if the opening of it is put within the episode itself, like there's a little bit of a recap first and then the opening and whatnot, I will just put it in. However, in this case, the opening was at the very beginning, so I just simply cut that out. And let's begin right in the episode in 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, so it's been a week. I mean, it's just one toilet. This girl needs some help. I mean... But seriously, how often do you need to clean the toilet? Hey, the English is actually half decent. Ooh. Okay, so... Yosai-san. Ooh. 妖精 Yosei. Do they mean fairy? So, a very mischievous spirit. Why would you be I mean, you already know the existence of Hanako. Wouldn't it be... It would be quite reasonable to assume that there are other spirits. So everything is put here. It's just like a cookie crumb trail, breadcrumb trail. Brooch. Ooh. Yosei? I'm not quite familiar with this legend actually. Whoosh! Right in the eye. Let me guess. That's not his actual true form. Ah. Okay, okay. So yeah, sort of like fairies. Okay. Our story changed. Huh. Oh, and then they also change with them? Really? Aww.
のっけの噂を変えてあげてくれないかな。噂を変える？そう。俺はこの学園の七不思議。学園に存在するすべての怪異を監督し、人と怪異の関係を正しく保つ義務がある。
Why would that fall in the jurisdiction of you?
怪異はここに置いておけない。排除するしかない。でも
Okay, what now?
人間の社なら噂を変えてこいつらを助けられるんだ。
I wonder who voice acted them.
頼んでおいてなんだけど、社は殺されかけたんだ。嫌なら無理は。いいよ。噂変えてあげる。いいの？のっけちゃんたちを見てると思い出すんだ。ホワイトインフェルノのこと。ごめん、なんて？
What?
ホワイトインフェルノ。前にやべえ。さっきは怖かったけど。
I mean, they do look cute.
花子さんが助けてくれたから。こないだの人魚の時もありがとう、花子さん。
Hmm. I don't quite buy that explanation.
掃除の次に頼みたい大事な仕事？本当はもっと後に頼みたい。
See, the thing here is, if these sort of, spirits or apparitions change based on the rumors within the school, Hanaka also being a spirit, I mean, I've already established last episode, he's not really the Hanako son of legends, right?
放課後誰かと一緒に何かしたり、どうでもいい話したり、そういう。
Then again, a Jibaku does not. I think it works a little bit differently. Nostalgic.
花子くん。花子くんって呼ぶね。その方が友達っぽいでしょ。どんな噂流すか決めた？うん、実はもう決めてあるんだ。不可解ななくし物が続くとき、それは妖精さんの仕業かもしれません。あれ、またなんかなくしたの？最近多くない？妖精さんだったらあんた殺されちゃったりして。妖精さんの姿を見てしまったが最後、命まで取られてしまった。
So instead, you gotta change it to something else.
はい、おめ。
Give a piece of candy.
被害に遭った時は持ち歩くといいらしいよ。そうすれば殺されないし、なくし物も止まるって。初耳。私もう行かなきゃ。部活最近忙しそうだね。友達のとこ？友達のとこ？トイレが？
So now they can get candy, and then they can also continue living here. Oh. Hmm. Looking at his umbrella, yeah, he seems one of those priest dudes. But I do think this is the third guy, right? The third main character. Oh, okay. Oh.
イケメンが空から降ってこないかしら。いや、しろ。別に本気じゃない。現実とフィクションの区別くらいついてる。
That guy's gonna drop on her, right?
会員の助手なんてやってるのよ。つい特別な出会いを想像しちゃうじゃない。特別？そうね。例えばこの映画みたいに。
Oh, a third year. No, I think he looks pretty handsome. Monsters. I think that's an actual dude. From an actual legend. Oh. He's smitten. Poor Hanako. What? I mean... Senpai? But how... I have no idea if he's just trolling or if that's actually true.
に合わない力がもたらすのは破滅だけだよ、少年。
余計なお世話だ。俺はみんなを守るためなら命なんか惜しくねえんだよ。
おお、熱血。大丈夫。焦らなくても君はいずれ優秀な払い手になる。
His hand is.
俺なんか簡単に払えるくらいの。
So I guess he was putting up an act there.
期待してるよ。
I mean, he's got this still, right? It's just that he's not high level enough.
今は弱っちいけどね。こうでもしなきゃ諦めてくれなさそうだったからね。丈夫そうだし、少ししたら起きるよ。
この杖今のうちに隠しちゃった方がいいんじゃない？また来るかも。
もしかして俺のこと心配？
当たり前じゃない。友達なんだから。
そう。ヤシロは人殺しでも仲良くできるんだ。
Are you actually?
冗談冗談。
Nah, that's probably true.
このままで大丈夫だよ。また来たところでこれを払いやしないだろうし、賑やかなのは大歓迎だ。ま、近々もっと賑やかになりそうだけど。
何も言えなかった。私は花子くんの助手で友達なのに。花子くんのことを何一つ知らない。あなたは知っていますか？その階段の破ってはいけない決まりのこと。その4段目は決して踏んではいけません。なぜならあちらに連れて行かれてしまうから。こんな噂知ってますか？岬階段。
Saki stairs. I wonder if that's actually going to be one of the, I guess one of the apparitions or whatnot. Anyways, I'll see you guys after this. Well, as expected, we do know what exactly we're going to be doing going forward to this, and we've also got the main cast together, right? I do believe that Minamoto rounds out the last of the protagonists for this season, and so the three of them are basically forming a team, right? Well, I guess you can't really say forming a team, but they're going to work together. And one thing that I kind of misread there was that Minamoto was actually a third year student in junior high. So yes, he is correct in calling Yashiro his senpai, because Yashiro is in the first year of her high school. But anyways, let's talk about that a little bit later. There's two parts to this episode, right? The first one deals with the Yosai. And as I mentioned, so Yosai here probably does mean fairy. At least if you turn it into kanji, then it would be the kanji for fairies. I don't think there's anything quite like that, as far as I know, in terms of you know, looking like that and then having that specific how should I say it? That specific behavior pattern or something like that. You know, the old monsters of Japanese folklore or generally weren't that cute. If you go look at some of the old paintings and whatnot, they look, I'll just say it, they look pretty gross, honestly. So, I feel like this is taking a bit more of an artistic license with it. But then again, there are plenty of tales dealing with mischievous ghosts and spirits and whatnot, so it's entirely possible here, right? But, anyways, I don't think that's quite the point of it. Anyway, the point of it as well, the point of that was to inform us viewers of this, basically the main goal, the main mission, or the main things that they're trying to solve here. So they are going to be going around and writing the rumors of these different monsters and apparitions, and so allow them to coexist peacefully with each other, right? I do find the concept kind of interesting, and I feel like it's not an entirely new concept. Lots of works have used this, where the behavior of the apparition or or monster in question will change based on how people think of it, right? What people's perception of it is, the rumors that goes around it, so on and so forth. And yeah, so again, that's not entirely new. One thing I will want to note here, however, is I wonder how this actually applies to Hanako, right? Because already I've mentioned before that I don't really think he's one of the I guess you could say original school spirits, or he's not a natural spirit. Let's put it this way. And indeed, we'll get that more to that in the latter half of this. So I don't think it entirely pertains to him, especially considering that he does stuff that doesn't really fit the rumors that are circulating as well, because Yashio was the one who heard of these rumors, and so that's why she came to find Hanako, right? And the rumors are dealing with Hanako's appearance, as well as what she's actually going to be able to do, which is grant a wish, right? And I think it's pretty obvious that Hanako does not have the looks, and also does not have that ability, and instead he's got a knife instead that he can fight around with. So he's obviously not quite from the same sort of system, which we should probably keep in mind. Beyond that, the second half, where we are introduced to Minamoto. So I mentioned that the ancestor that they were talking about I seem to recall being a real person. I looked it up, and yes, indeed, he is a historical figure. Not an especially famous one, but he did appear in a few old folktale collections, if you will, that the Japanese have. And so using it, his name is related to these apparitions, to these yokai, these monsters somehow, and so I guess it's just a nice sort of segue from that. Beyond that, beyond his introduction, we get some information in regards to Hanako. Like, we can pretty much all but confirm that he did kill someone, right? I mean, he mentioned it himself. He killed someone, and then he was exorcised by Minamoto's grandmother, I believe it was. But then God decided to give him a second chance, and then he was put back here, right? God, in this case, I would presume deals more with Buddha, considering, you know, the cultural context and whatnot. So yeah, I think that's basically it. And giving them a chance to atone for sins, yeah, that seems very Buddhist, actually. So, yeah. One other thing that I found kind of interesting, which I didn't quite notice before, is because in this episode he also Hanako sealed away the staff of Minamoto, right? He put the seal on the staff, so its powers were being sealed. However, he also has the same seal on his cheek here, so I do wonder if he's actually also sealing his own abilities as well, as to not I don't know, maybe to remain in control, not get out of control. If the powers are too big, then he might get corrupted or something like that. I don't know. I feel, or it could just be a design choice, but I got a feeling that probably it has something to do with his hidden powers here. So yeah, I guess that's what just we can expect going forward. Them going to meet all the different kinds of apparitions within the school and helping them out, righting their wrongs, so on and so forth. And that's basically it. And of course, at the very end, well, or maybe not the very end, but throughout, I guess the main plot would be to figure out what happened to Hanako and so on and so forth, right? So yeah, as for the other stuff, I don't know. There's not really much to say in regards to the overall quality of the anime. I still enjoyed the animation, and I still enjoyed the jokes. So in this part, I would say it's still maintaining the same highs that it had from the first episode. Alright, so that pretty much covers it for this one. Next episode... Oh, And by the way, I just figured out by rewatching that the beginning of the ending song is actually sort of like a preview segment for the next episode. So that is, with the girl talking on the radio and whatnot, she's actually talking about the next rumor or apparition or yokai that they're going to investigate in the upcoming episode. So next one, it's the Misaki stairs, I believe, and you can't step on the fourth stair. Again, I'm not entirely sure if there's a specific rumor I've heard, a specific urban legend of this sort, but then again, the fourth stair is indeed a superstitious number in Japan because of its the alternative pronunciation of 4 in Japanese sounds really close to death or dead, so it is more of a taboo number. So I could totally see why they would want to make a rumor where stepping on the 4th floor would bring you to another dimension. I'm just not I haven't heard anything particular to that yet. And also, I gotta say, Misaki Kaidan. I'm wondering if the Kaidan there is actually sort of like a pun, because Kaidan not only means stairs, it also means sort of like ghost stories as well. So, it could very well be a sort of pun there, and if that's the case, well, hats off to the writers, right? And hats off to the author, I should say, because this was adapted from a manga. So there we go. That was episode 2. I will see you guys in the next one. So stay tuned and bye bye.